Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Carrie Croft Show. I'm your host, Carrie Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. We all know the age-old joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, in this day and age, cool chicks cross the road to make their way to SZN, a groovy little boutique in downtown Palo, Ohio. Located at 37 South Liberty Street, SZN offers curated apparel, accessories, and gifts from purpose-driven brands. Stop in and listen to Tara's story and the stories of the brands sold within the shop. Ask her why a hen is Zen, and receive four-legged greetings from Wally, the small and mighty shop dog. At SZN, your purchase has a bigger purpose. Mention the awesomeness that is the Carrie Croft Show and receive 20% off your total purchase. Ready to elevate your self-care game? Boss Gal Beauty Bar is a modern med spa offering everything from cosmetic injectables, lasers and microneedling to medical-grade facials and skincare. Conveniently located in Clintonville, Grandview, Powell, and Easton, making self-care a priority has never been easier. Use code CROFT for $25 off your first visit.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's so good. You're like, well, when you got it, you got it. Hold on. No problem.
We're ready to go.
No problem. Test.
Test.
Okay. Red light. I'm my own production crew.
I love
if
that.
You haven't noticed.
It's impressive.
It's like, Carrie, is the video on? Yes, Carrie, it is. Is the audio on? Yes, it is. Don't fuck it up. Abbey Wolfe, welcome to the Carrie Croft Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm so glad you're here.
You too. It's been like forever.
It has been
we've
forever.
Hung out or you spray tanned or.
Yeah. Do you look at me and think to yourself, I've seen her naked before?
I honestly do not. Like
I've seen the saggy National Geographic titties, which we know. Let's just get with that. Let's just start with that.
We'll start with that. Right out of the gate.
You don't think about my...
I do not. It's like so quick, and then the next client comes in and I'm just not even thinking about it anymore. Like it's like such a, that sounds bad maybe, but like it's almost like a doctor's office where you almost get so used to seeing naked bodies all the time that it just doesn't even matter.
But I would think these Nat Geos, one being like an A-ish and one being like a B-ish.
You're one of those. I think we all have one that's bigger, right?
Because I can't wait until they get cold when I'm in there because I'm like, ooh, at least my nips are hard.
That's
so
true. They look good, right? Because everyone's a little bit cold and stimulated by the cold spray tan. So.
And I'm sure I'm not alone in that, like, so someone as hot as you, and let's just call this what it is, like the elephant in the room. I'm not the first person to notice that you're aesthetically pleasing, okay?
Okay.
So when someone walks in to get spray tan and then you're there.
Okay.
I mean, that's, I've thought it. I'm like, look at this hot biche, like staring my Nat Geos down, spraying me. But I do it anyway.
People do say that, but honestly, I do feel like when I'm there, I feel like I'm like a car mechanic, like I'm greased up, like I look dirty. I have spray tan all over me. My hair is greased back. I have like a literal spray tan mustache from spray tanning people. So it's like, yeah, but no. Like I don't feel cute when I'm doing it, but like my job is to give people confidence, but I just don't know.
Who do you look like?
I have no idea. I've been told I look like a million people to the point that I don't know what I look like, honestly.
It's almost like a Jessica Biel.
I've heard that a lot.
Meets.
Heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
That's like the most common. Like I'll go, like if I'm out, I feel like a bartender will be like, you look like Jessica Biel. I feel like that's my go-to.
And now, so we're just gonna start, and we'll get off the appearance. Like we're not gonna stay here the whole. We're not gonna stay here the whole
God,
time.
Carrie.
But I'm more of a jump out, hard out.
I feel like you're objectifying me.
I am objectifying you. I really am. So I want to talk about the Instagram because I love looking at your Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
It's like, because here's the thing, when you're someone like me, like I have had to rely on like, I don't know, something other than like, I wish I could fucking literally do these photos.
But first of all, but I like how you do your makeup sometimes while you're
like
talking. I think that's cool because it's very like organic and it shows your like girly side and you are very beautiful. So I think it's cool that you do that because I think you come off as like a hard ass, but like you're in fitness, but also like you know how to be a woman and be girly and embrace your like feminine side.
So
I
now
think
that
it's
we're
cool.
here, let's do this. Let's analyze. I want you to analyze me from a social media perspective. So you already started.
Yes.
So we're going to flip this. You're going to do me, and then I'm going to go back to the thirst trap because I want to talk just through this. Like
okay,
this,
that's
these
fair.
bikini.
Totally.
Okay, so what does my social media give? You said hard ass.
I feel like badass, hard ass, fitness, and mother. Like in a community, like friend, but also you're like, I'm a girl's girl, and you show like in the morning I'm getting my kids ready and I'm doing like my makeup and this is my makeup routine. I feel like you're like just, I don't know, like I feel like people should like want to be your friend and want you on their side because I know you're not afraid to like speak out or speak up. You have a voice.
What would you want to see more from me?
Well, now that we're on the topic, obviously, like more bikini pics on vacation. Like, I think just because people are mothers, especially like, I don't know, we're like in Columbus, it's not like LA or Miami or anything. I feel like we get in this like cycle of being more conservative. And I think it's just not a big deal to embrace sexuality. And I think there's a big, I don't know. It's just weird, you know?
Okay. And then anything I've done where you're like, ick, cringe, or I don't like that?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay, well, if you see something,
if I see something, I
just
will
like DM me.
I'm gonna
and be
DM you and be
like, I want to know because don't you ever?
I'm just gonna. I'll send an emoji. It'll be like the one with like the one eye, like just kind of like.
I need.
What are we doing here?
I need to stay on the dial. Like I need to stay. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm somewhat cool, but like people like you that I don't like hang with on the regular, but I feel like could have some kind of social awareness. Like if I did something, you're like, okay, that is so not it.
But I think we all post something or say something, and it's like, should we have done or said that, right? There's like the aftermath the next morning, or like maybe you stayed up too late and you're not even drinking, you're just like delirious or tired, and then you post or do or say something, and it's like, wait, how is that perceived? Was that the right thing to do or say? But
so back to you.
Okay, I'm nervous now.
Don't be, because I feel here's what I like. I'm going to analyze you. I like someone. I mean, first of all, you're a banger. Like you're drop dead gorgeous. So
thank you.
Of course, like I would be posting. Like my mom used to say to me, it's probably good that you have lopsided, like not huge tatas, because you'd be the girl on the table just freaking. And she was right about that, right? So, but here's the thing. You feel very unapologetic about it. You're like, I'm going to own this. When you post something, put me in your mind. You have this really hot bikini pic and you're looking at it. You're like, this is fire. I'm going to put this out. But you also know cognitively you're going to get haters, right? But it's kind of
for sure.
But it kind of like, isn't that for me personally? Haters drive me a little bit.
Oh,
it's like they put some fuel in the gas tank. You ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
100%.
Right? Are you just like, you know what? Like, do you have that weird where should I, shouldn't I? Is this too sexy? Am I being too much? Like, what is your thought process before you hit send on like this banger?
I think I just do it without thinking about it too much, and that's why I do post it. I think people think too much about it, and then they just never end up posting anything. Like, I have a lot of friends who are super attractive, and they just never post anything at all. And it's like because they're afraid of how they will be perceived. And I just don't really have that. I think authenticity is the best thing in the world. I think it's what takes you the furthest in life. And I think if you think about the most famous people in the world, celebrities, artists, you know, whatever, we are drawn to them because they are their true authentic self. And I think that's just so important. But also I think a lot of things that I do, I am wearing a bikini, like literally. Like if I'm going to go do something, it's probably not really in Columbus. Like I don't go out very often here. So if I'm doing something, it's probably somewhere really warm, like California or Florida, or like a vacation where I'm literally just in a bikini. And that's my preference, is to like be in a bikini. That's my comfort zone. That's where I feel most comfortable, more than like wearing clothes. Like I'm 5'3", so clothes don't always like fit me the best. So when I'm in a bikini, I'm like, this is where I feel good. This is how I feel good.
If I were you, I'd be feeling the same way if I were you. But then so you're not just a pretty face. You're an entrepreneur, a successful business owner, and you own Tan Wolfe. And I think that, for me personally, I think this is good for the brand. because
I do too.
or I don't know if saying good for the brand is the right term. I think it is very fitting. It's on brand. Because when I walk in to a Tan Wolfe, I am a literal ogre. Okay, like I am a literal. I'm just walking you through the way I feel, right?
The way you feel. Oh
so
God.
pre-walk-in.
I don't want people to feel that way.
No. It's not because of this. It's not because of you. If I were going to any spray tan,
yeah. Well,
I would walk in feeling like a 5.
Like the Adam Sandler. Okay, yes.
But the point,
and the outfit, yes.
But the point of this is, when you leave there, I am literally Cindy Crawford.
100%.
I am literally Gisele Bündchen in my mind.
Absolutely.
It makes you feel the hot dial. It's like you are feeling yourself.
Yes.
So to see you looking like fine and having the bikini and being all bronzed up, I just think it's like, okay, I think Tan Wolfe, I think spray tan, I think it's like all correlates. So I think it's in line. It's totally in line.
Yeah. And I think that's why we do what we do. That's why I do this is it's the, revolving door of just giving people confidence every 15 minutes is like insanity. Like people can come in and be hesitant or nervous or feeling down on themselves. They just like lost their job. They're getting a divorce or something's happening. And they leave like a whole new person. And part of it is just, well, you're being vulnerable. And then it's like a cold therapy because it is really cold. You know how cold it is?
Fuck yes,
but
I do.
You leave with this like invigorating, you literally have energy. Your cortisol, I think, actually probably goes down. It's like getting in a cold plunge or something that just like resets your body, but you leave like glowing. And that's the whole point that we do what we do.
Something you just reminded me, like a ding. Here's a question. One that I didn't think of before. So when you go to a hair salon and you sit in the chair, I mean, a hairstylist hears everything. To the gossip, drama, people want to talk. Is it the same way with you? Do people just start spilling tea in there?
Yes, they do.
So you're like their therapist.
It's hard. Yeah. It's, and I tell my employees because we don't want to get wrapped up in like drama or anything, right? That's not healthy. So we try to steer the conversation back. I'm like, the conversation should be kind of boring, right? Like ask them about the weather. If they start talking about politics, just kind of be like, oh, that's crazy, right? And then kind of change the subject so you're not, because you don't want to piss anybody off. You don't want to be forming like allies with, Upper Arlington moms or like, you don't want to be in that, situation.
I am the anti that. Like there has never been a moment. There's never been a moment. My hairstylist, I love her. We have such a great relationship. I speak 3 words to her. I work. She speaks. She loves it. Like we love each other.
Yeah. So you're an ideal client.
With you,
literally an ideal
I would
client.
come in, talk about my tatas. And then I would talk about how fucking cold it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the extent of it. I can't imagine.
And I'm like, how's business? How's work?
Yeah,
like,
I can't
super
imagine.
Simple.
Like, but now that I'm thinking about it. So, I mean, please, I'm just going to give a little PSA right now to just human beings in general. If you have to spill your tea to your spray tan, do we call it tech?
Yes. Yeah. Whatever.
Seriously, like save it for your group chat, like,
or like
with your friends.
Give them an extra tip or something because that's a lot of weight to carry through the day when everybody puts their heavy shit on you. It's draining. It's exhausting. Like it's hard because some people roll in like, oh my God, I have to tell you something. And I'm just like, do I want to hear this? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just not.
That's
okay,
guys.
It's crazy.
Not it. Wild. Okay. So moving from that, where did the idea, like when did you decide like, hey, I think this is a good idea for me to open a spray tan studio?
So in college, I went to Ohio State. 2012, I graduated. So that the year before I started working in like a tanning bed salon. And I was doing spray tans there. So the manager literally, she like smoked cigarettes, like walked me around the building. She had me spray tan one person. It was a man who was like 45 years old, completely naked. And
completely naked.
Yeah, that was my first experience. I was like 20 years old. And she's like, okay, you're ready. Go do it. And I'm just like,
hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Let's take a minute for this. So you walk in, there's a completely naked, like the boys are hanging out. 45-year-old man. Was he affected by the fact that you're this hot girl coming in to spray him? Like, meaning, did he get a chubby? Did it stay flaccid? Did it go
So
up? What happened there?
The good thing about what we do is the solution is so cold that that couldn't even physically happen, which is good. Like, thank God, right?
But did he seem nervous or uncomfortable?
Maybe a little quiet. I don't know. Just
don't
maybe
you guys have something
because there were
small
like
to give
two
them
women in the room. Yes, we do. Now we tell guys to like keep their underwear or boxers on. You know, like.
Absolutely.
You know, we're like stripped down to your underwear or your boxers or put shorts on because it's just not necessary, right? Like, I don't know. Or wear like a thong or a little Speedo, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, come on. Like,
so wait, we'll go back. But real quick, while I'm back in this little nook of my twisted brain, have you had a guy come in and like hit on you while you're tanning him?
Honestly, no. Because I think I'm so good at being professional and directing the whole appointment that I just leave no room for that. Yeah. Like, I won't even like allow that to happen because that would make me, that's just not, I don't,
that would not be the way.
No, thank you. That's not the way.
That's not the way into your heart.
It's not the way. I think I've had guys maybe like DM afterwards or something. If like, just something nice like that I love my tan, would love to grab a drink sometime, but it's not usually how I like wind up going on a date or something.
Okay, so back to you were at this tanning place. She said, yes. You're ready, and now where?
So I was working there, and a girl I was working with was like, oh my God, we should start our own spray tan business and go to campus and like be mobile. So we bought a tent and like would go around to people's houses and like literally like pitched a tent and like where I was living at the time on campus. And then people would come over, we'd spray tan them, drive around the city, which was like such a hustle. It was not fun because it's just driving all across the city to like go spray tan people, and like it's like messy and like it just wasn't ideal. So after a couple years, we opened like a suite in Style Suites of Upper Arlington by the high school. So we were doing that for a while, and then I started Tan Wolfe in March of 2020. So brick and mortar, because I just built my clientele like over time, over the years. And at that point, I didn't have a partner because she left, was like, fuck you, this isn't working, this isn't. And I just like, I believed in it so much, you know what I mean? It kind of gave me that drive. It's like you were saying, when you have haters, it kind of like, I like to take everything negative and just make it positive. Mm-hmm. So if somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm just gonna, it just gives me that energy to go.
You're smart to do it on your own.
Yes,
if you can,
thank you.
Can.
Yes, I think
if
so.
You can continue, yeah.
Yes. It's hard.
More people, more problems. Mm-hmm. And it's hard with a partner. I mean, it's hard, and the journey is going to be hard.
Absolutely.
Regardless of how you
if I have a partner or not. Yeah.
Who was the biggest, I guess, when you were first starting Tan Wolfe? Was there anyone who was a big supporter or like that you look back on that was a mentor that you're like, okay, this person, like who pops up in your mind? So how many people ask you if it's really worth it to get a haircut by Mia Santiago?
Honestly, a lot. And honestly, it is.
I mean, she is a celebrity hairstylist in Columbus, Ohio. That's all you really need to know.
She doesn't miss, and now she has her own salon, Headspace. It is truly something the city has never seen.
Girl, I did one scalp treatment, and I would let Jake put his hands on my head anytime he wanted.
No, same. It's right in Upper Arlington where Mia cuts and styles, and Jake manages a full scalp spa, which is like a facial for your scalp and a massage for all of the stress and tension we hold in our head and neck.
I legit felt like I was on something after I got my first treatment, and my hair looks so much healthier now that all the buildup and dead skin are gone. I mean, I do love massages, but honestly, this might be even better. Plus, it has so many proven benefits for my hair health.
Truly believe you get what you pay for, and Mia and Jake are the dream team.
Use code CARRY for 20% off your first visit with Miss Mia Santiago.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, it was the members that I had, because I had them in my small studio, and I said, I understand if all of you want to cancel your memberships. And because we had to shut down for 2 months, a week after me opening. And that was months after construction delays. So I was just like in a very, very low place. Even though I was acting very, graceful about it. But like, I would say 75% of members kept their membership for those 2 months that they couldn't even utilize it. And to me, that was like, I could like tear up thinking about it now, because they didn't have to do that. And I really think it's community as a whole that comes to mind.
Man, so we do need to take a minute for that. So you were super stoked. You're doing this on your own. It's obviously not cheap. I mean, you're putting an investment in. You're
Right.
not only financially, but emotionally. Are people going to like it? Is this going to fail? Is it going to fly? The trapping of that alone are very stressful on somebody. And then you have COVID, which is unprecedented. And so in your mind, you're thinking, this is all going down the drain.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, you go into survival mode, you know? It's that fight or flight. And every day you're like, what can I do today to just stay afloat, right? And I think it's hard for people who, it's like, oh, you got the PPP, right? Oh, you got this, you got that. It's like, yes, but that's not the revenue that you forecast. That's just like, yeah, thank God I had that because it did help me. But I still had like a 50% loss. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We got the PPP too, but like, if you know, and thank God we live in a country where we're able to have that. I mean, I'm very grateful for that. But when you look at the top line revenue pre-COVID to even today, you know, at least for our industry and where we were sitting, it's down. You know, it did not go back to where it was for us.
It did not. And I will, on that note, I felt like everything is like pre-COVID, post-COVID, right? But then I feel like right now the economy, I can kind of tell isn't great. We're not as great as we were in 2023 as far as revenue. Like it just feels different. I think people are uncertain with, you know, the election coming up or something. So it's interesting.
But also you mentioned the tanning beds. How is that making, like, I'm hearing hints
people are going to
of the tanning bed.
Yeah.
How is that possible? How are they spinning this? Is it that there's not, maybe you haven't even researched it, but I've heard rumblings of the tanning booth. So I'm like, okay, are they saying that like the rays are now non-cancerous? This isn't going to hurt. What's the spin here?
I think the spin has always been like, you can get vitamin D from it. It helps with like depression. It helps with acne, which all of those things are not true. You cannot get vitamin D from the tanning bed. It does not help acne. It actually makes it worse, you know, long term. But I think when we saw like somebody like Kim Kardashian making the tanning bed look cool, and you have people on TikTok saying like, oh, tanning is so good for you. The sun is so good for you. It's this like, people do what TikTok like tells them to do, and it doesn't mean it's right or good for you. I think that's a huge part of it right now is TikTok, and the tanning bed industry is like the biggest propaganda of all time.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
No.
Period.
It would take a lot to get me in a tanning bed.
Yeah, it's. You know, the cancer, obviously, but also like the wrinkles. I don't understand why people want wrinkles. Like, and I'm not against getting sun. I'm not. I'll sit outside 15, 20 minutes in my morning without sunscreen often because I want to get vitamin D. But there is a fine line where it crosses over to damage.
Yeah.
So I think there is a balance there for sure.
Speaking of Kim Kardashian, so if Kim Kardashian were having a yacht party, Taylor Swift was having a yacht party on the same day, same time. You got invited to both. Whose party are you going to?
Kim Kardashian.
You would. You're
sure.
Team Kim. Okay.
Yes.
Give me the just like the goods on that.
I'm not a Swiftie, but I don't not like her necessarily. I think she's a genius marketer, and I've heard that as far as a businesswoman, I think she's phenomenal. I don't really listen to her music that much. I've heard she treats her people amazing, like her employees, everybody that's with her is treated well, right? But I think the Kardashians, to me, are like, I genuinely think that they would be a really good time. And I think they're really, really funny. And I think they're very smart. And I think they get, you know, a bad rep or whatever, but I think they're very cool and funny and relatable, and
better time on her yacht.
And I get like the connections. I could learn things that I think it would be a worthwhile experience. So
then you're on Kim's yacht and you get to pick who's coming on in terms of who's going to sing, and you get to pick between Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Who's coming?
Oh shit, I was Drake for a while, but I think now I'm more Kendrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it the last song?
I think so. And I just hear weird things about him. Like I have friends in LA who just say he's a very weird guy. I've heard such weird rumors about him that I get the ick.
Okay.
I really do.
So you have a yacht party with Kim and Kendrick's going to play. I think that'd be a nice time.
I do too.
And you get a +1. Who you bringing?
I'll bring you.
Thank you.
Yes, because I feel like you're manifesting this. Because I think, yes.
Just bring me,
we'll
please.
have our spray tans, and it'll be great.
Absolutely. Okay, so you have another one open now, right?
I opened, in Powell. So it's like a little a booth suite situation.
Cool.
So
How's it
small.
going? How's the Powell contingent?
So July and August are so slow anyway, so it's hard for me to tell. But we're starting to pick up a little bit. I think come September with fall and the season change will be really good, and back to school and everything. So
where is it specifically for people who don't know?
It's called Privé. It's by Novella, that restaurant off Olentangy. Yeah, it's really cute, like the cutest area. That building, everything is so cute.
Okay.
Plenty of parking. Yeah, it's great.
I love that. What's it been like now with 2 things to manage? What's been the big lesson there?
It actually doesn't feel much different. I think maybe it's like having children where like you have one and then you have another one and like, it's like a lot, but is it really that different? Like, I don't know. I think now I just know how to like prioritize my time better. Yeah. You kind of just get better at doing it, I think. I don't know. It's not like a huge struggle.
Okay.
The schedule, because it's only one room there, is pretty simple. I think when we transition into a storefront, hopefully eventually that would be another, ball game for sure.
How old are you? Or do you not want to say?
34.
You're still just a little babe.
Well, thanks.
You're like a little Bambi babe.
Thank you.
So
I don't know. I feel that way. Well, I do. But
you're so young. And so you're single right now, currently.
Yes.
What is it hard? I mean, I can imagine the dating scene here is like a meat grinder. Like, is it that bad, or is it just more? I mean, what's it like out there in the streets?
I think I'm just not really trying, and I'm not really in the streets. Like, I like to lay low. Like, I've done all the going out, the partying. I don't like, how many times can we go to the same place and do the same thing? I'm just not interested, honestly. I like to keep my circle small, but I'm not on dating apps. I'm not really like actively dating. I think people like talk to me as if I'm in this like dating scene or going on multiple dates a week, and I really don't do that. So
yeah, you don't strike me. I mean, probably because I know you enough to like, at least when you and I would do the spray tan thing, we'd talk just a little bit about your, like if you had a boyfriend or whatever. And you'd always just be like, I lay low. I don't really do much. I'm not like a go out kind of girl. So I kind of knew that about you.
Yeah. And I can have fun. I prefer to like let my hair down other places, like go visit my friend in LA or Miami you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a different scene. I feel more comfortable doing that.
Do you think but you must like it here, right? You like living in Columbus, but just sort like having roots here, but then also branching out into different.
Yeah, I like being grounded here. My family's here. My business is here. So I think it keeps me grounded, but I like that Columbus is so easy to like travel from. Like it's getting on a flight, getting to the airport, everything is so easy that, because people are like, oh, why do you live in Ohio? I'm like, it's fine. Like I'm not, it's fine. I don't know. I don't like dream of living somewhere else, but I like to be by the water. So I don't know if I'll wind up somewhere like near the beach or something eventually. But.
Yeah. So do you want to get married? Do you want to have, because I think people assume things, right? We assume you want to get married. We assume you want to have kids.
Right.
So I don't want to do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you don't have to do any of those things.
Exactly.
You can have a completely amazing full life and not do those things.
For sure.
So I guess the question is that something you want? Or how do you envision yourself, I guess, when you're crusty and old like me?
Do not say that. Like I'm not that far away. You are not crusty and old. You are not.
So like let's say 10 years from now, what would you envision your life looking like?
For sure. I would definitely have a husband, a house, and kids.
How many kids do you think?
I want like 2 to 4.
Yeah, just wait till you start that process. That'll go down to 2 real quick. You're like, there was a day where I said I wanted 4 of these heathens. Just go back to this episode.
Perfect.
All love.
That's
Kids are
funny.
great. They're
That's so
fucking
funny.
hard as hell. But they're great.
I don't know how female business owners do it and have children. I mean, that's insane.
It's what you just said earlier, where you're like, okay, you already have. It's like you're already in the fire. So like, what's another thing
Chaos,
to juggle?
right? What's
It's like
more?
let's just. And women, I will say, we're amazing multitaskers.
Oh, incredible.
And so you just keep getting better at it, where
For
you're like, I
sure.
am super efficient at this gig.
For sure.
Like, and then you're almost like, I want a challenge. Like, oh, why not throw in some more bullshit?
Yeah, I definitely always say like I thrive in chaos. So yeah.
So you want to raise your family in Columbus, do you think?
I think so. I don't know. It depends who I like wind up with, what that looks like. But
what's your like ideal? Do you have a type?
no, I do not. I've dated every type of guy, literally. I feel like I think what happens is I will date somebody and then I'll overcompensate and go at like an extreme direction. I'm like, I need to not do that. Like, I need to just find the like happy medium or something, you know, like just. Yeah. I've dated the like entrepreneur, the doctor, just a variety of people. So I don't think I have a type necessarily.
What about Raya?
I know. I need to get on Raya. I've heard that's better.
Legit. This is what they tell me in the streets.
The streets. I know, same.
You know,
my friends who live in California, they go on dates all the time on Raya, and I get these crazy stories, or the guys are super attractive, or I don't know. Like, I think people find people.
I have a friend who showed me, she was on Raya, but she's like, letting me like scroll through, and I'm like, damn, this is not your grandma's dating app. Like,
no,
there was some legit, and I'm thinking, since you're kind of not opposed to traveling outside of the city limits of the bus.
True.
That could be, but I hear it's a bitch to get on Raya though.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, they're going to look at your Instagram. They're going to be like, okay, I think we can probably make an exception here for this one.
Yeah. I don't know what the process is, because some people I feel like are waitlisted forever, but I'm like, why are you waitlisted forever? Like, you are super successful, attractive. Like, I don't know what's
Do you know what
going
I think
on.
it is? From just my limited exposure to this, because I have a couple of people who have been dabbling in Raya. I think it's your social media presence.
Okay.
Someone who knows someone. I even looked up the CEO of Raya, because I was like, who is this person? Because there's a friend of mine who I'm like, how are you not hitting send to let this woman in? Because she's in life, and first of all, she's beautiful, she's fit, she's smart, she's all the things. But her social media is like meh. I'm like, this is okay. And then I had heard through the grapevine in my research that they're big on, like, you have to have this grand social media, which so anyway, I was gonna I don't know what I was gonna do. Was I gonna email him and talk to him? I don't know. But I was like, so in my experience trying to kind of look at this Raya thing, I do think they lean heavily on like what your social media presence looks like, which I don't know. Is that the smartest thing to do? Because I mean, I know a lot of jabronis, man. I know a lot of fake social media jabronis.
God. Oh yeah.
Who like in
the
real
catfish,
life, just like,
sure. That happens all the time. And I feel like men, especially, like some of the coolest or most attractive men I've met do not have like any clout on Instagram.
Right.
They like hardly post, or they're just not being like fuckboys on Instagram. And I don't know. It's interesting that they would make that like the thing that's most priority to evaluate somebody, because I don't necessarily want the guy that's like all over Instagram all the time.
No.
So,
and like, don't you, when you're single in a city like this, don't you already know who's available?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't the world get kind of small?
So
and you're like, okay,
small.
so I know you're a smart girl. And I guarantee you've got some data points on any of the this is how I would be,
eligible.
Right? Correct. You're like, okay, here's the top, 5, 10 guys that are single. Here's their stats. I mean, women are women, right? Like, let's not pretend like we're not,
Yeah, and I feel like we look out for each other, for sure.
So then you're like, well, shit, there's a very limited pool here.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's taken too. Like, I feel like everybody's in a relationship pretty much. I don't know.
And they're all going to the same place. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd feel that same way.
Yeah.
So what's a typical weekend then look like for you as a single business owner? What area do you live in?
Grandview.
Okay.
I love Grandview.
Yeah,
So I
Grandview's
can
great.
literally walk around there, like go grab coffee. I'll hang out with my family. Like my aunt has a pool in Westerville. Like we'll spend weekends there, or I'm just more like family oriented, or I'll like grab dinner with a girlfriend or something and not necessarily go out, but literally just sit and have conversation and have drinks. Like just super chill, like under the radar, just very like
Yeah.
not
Right.
not anything crazy.
Do you drink ever?
I used to drink and party a lot, and I just don't really do that anymore. I feel so much better not drinking alcohol. If I do, I'll have like a drink or two at dinner, but nothing crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right.
I just feel better not
Yeah.
drinking,
Yeah.
honestly. I feel like my vice is working. That's like my coping mechanism is working.
Yeah.
That's what I put my energy into.
So what would be your next move? Like, let's say you're like, all right, Tan Wolf, I'm going to do whatever with that. And then looking like, what do you daydream about being able to do next?
This is like, I think about expanding and growing Tan Wolf, right? Like having multiple locations, but I'm very much a fan of like crawl, walk, run. I don't want to do it too quickly or too like carelessly, because it is just me, and I don't have like investors or anything like that. So I would say opening more locations, and then I want to do something else. I just don't know what the other thing is yet. Like I'm like I feel like I built something, and I'm like, what else can I apply this to? What else am I passionate about?
What else are you passionate about?
I really I like clothes and like fashion. Now I can't like afford the best fashion because I'm still like, a young entrepreneur, but a clothing, something to do with that, or coffee. I think coffee, like there's so many cute like coffee shops, and I know we have cute ones here, but like, I don't know, that would be something that'd be so cool to just have a really cute one.
How do you dress yourself affordably, but still like stay on top of the fashion game?
I've been shopping on like Poshmark, or Depop is another one. It's just like resale. So it's kind of good because you're like recycling like Aritzia or Owla or some of these more pricey brands. You can kind of wear the good feeling clothes without splurging on them.
Are you a Zara girl?
I like Zara. Sometimes if I'm like in a pinch, I need to run to East End, I'll do that.
Zara refuses to acknowledge my existence.
Why?
So
what?
do you know that I tag I won't tag them today because I'm not wearing their shit.
Oh, you do, but you tag them sometimes.
Oh my God, I'm like, can you just like, how can we do something here? Let's like, I don't know, send me a sweatshirt. I'll open it. Like you see all these like nobody wants to send me shit.
That's annoying.
Zara does not even like my shit.
That's annoying.
I'm like, Zara, but I love you. It's like I'm in a very dysfunctional
You're
relationship.
You're in a one-sided relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like a stage 5 clinger with
and
Zara.
you have like an anxiety attachment too.
They're like, we don't want you. Like you are literally small potatoes. We want whoever these other cool people are. You are literally like, I feel othered.
That's happened to me before, I think too.
Should I stop wearing Zara, or should I just keep being a fangirl?
So. I think that's like annoying because if you're a loyal customer, you would think they would want to acknowledge everyone.
No.
Like that's annoying.
But I think they probably just don't. They're just too big and they don't know. Like you think they know, but they've got
They
like
get
a million
so many,
people tagging them.
I guess at some point it has to work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. So Abby, what would you say to someone out there who's listening to this? They look up to you. They're like, oh my gosh, she's all these things and she's got Tan Wolf and she's an entrepreneur. What would you tell them advice-wise?
I think if something, scares you, you should do it. I think sometimes what we are resistant to the most is the thing that we need to do and to change to do better, to be successful. I think priorities are... I say priorities are
I think having priorities.
Don't talk like that. I swear I'm not proper. Oh my gosh. That people prioritize men, so women do so often, place their value into other people instead of investing in themselves. And I think we need to collectively learn skills and get hobbies and focus on ourselves and be secure with ourselves, and even emotionally and financially, because we should only really look for approval in ourselves.
Damn straight, girl. Damn straight. All right, Abby, this has been lovely. And I'm glad that you prioritized me enough to come. I'm glad that you prioritized me enough to come in today. Before we wrap up, anything, for somebody out there who's never been to Teen Wolf, they're on the fence, we want to bring them in the space. Do you have anything going on there for a newbie?
Spray tans are not orange. We will not make you orange. First of all, that's just old, bad spray tans in the past. We don't do that. Also, we do 50% off on Mondays and Tuesdays for your first tan. So come in, we'll get you the deal. It'll be a great experience. So wear your sunscreen and get a spray tan.
That's great. All right. Thank you, Abby. Seriously, this was great.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for the, schooling me up on my Instagram, because I need it.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to take you up on actually the little emoji thing.
I better see a bikini pic.
You might.
Okay.
You might.
All right.
And with that, if you're still out there following your girl, follow me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, stay golden, get yourself bronzed, and keep moving, baby. And priorities.
Priorities.
Priorities. That was great.
That was so good. Thank you.